Hello, everyone. It's Craig here with your Disney News Roundup for the week of January 30th, 2021. Before we get started on the news, I just want to remind you that this video is sponsored by Dreams Unlimited Travel, the experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. So if you want to help support us here at the Diz, then we need you to support Dreams Unlimited Travel when you're planning your next Disney vacation. You can get a free, no obligation quote today over at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Now, let's move on to the news, and we don't have a lot this week, so apologies if you came here for the good stuff. You're not going to find much of it. But my first week of filling in for Rhino to read the news was exciting because it did align with the grand opening of Gideon's Bakehouse at Disney Springs. But now in my third week of reading the news, I'm able to talk about another grand opening at Disney Springs, but this time it's not very exciting. Apparently, the M&M Store in the west side of Disney Springs will be opening its doors to guests for the first time today and probably will not close them until closing time. M&Ms date back to the year 1941, and they're known as the candy that melts in your mouth, not in your hands. You probably know M&Ms best through the controversy surrounding the 1982 film E.T. the Extraterrestrial, in which Mars, the company that actually makes M&Ms, refused to actually let the candies be included into the movie. But luckily for us, Hershey's did step up with Reese's Pieces, and the rest is history. And if you don't know M&Ms from that, then you potentially know them from the journalistic pieces on television where a red M&M and a yellow M&M that sound very similar to Billy West as well as J.K. Simmons, they actually proved the existence of Santa Claus. So you might know them from that. And if you're in the United Kingdom, I believe you call these Smarties, and they're made by Nestle, but I'm not positive with that. Anyways, each M&M has 4.7 calories, and the M&M store at Disney Springs will have the exclusive Mickey and Minnie Mouse M&Ms that I believe I also mentioned on the news a few weeks ago. So stay tuned for a vlog on our Disney Dining channel for our first taste test of M&Ms ever. I'm sure that will be coming soon. Now, let's hop over to the West Coast for a little California dreamin'. Earlier this week, California health officials announced that the regional stay-at-home orders have been lifted across the state. The state of California has been returned to the county-by-county restriction system, and the lifting of the stay-at-home orders will allow businesses such as restaurants to resume outdoor operations in many locations, although local officials are free to continue with stricter rules. And luckily for downtown Disney, this means a lot is opening. So Ballast Point, Tortilla Joe's, Naples, and Uva Bar will reopen today. I believe Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen will reopen Monday, and I got this information from the OC Register. And then also, hundreds of cast members have been recalled to reopen Carthay Circle, Award Wieners, and Smoke Jumpers at Disney California Adventure. So very exciting. And meanwhile, there are already some locations open up at downtown Disney, and there are also outdoor vending carts inside DCA that are selling ice cream, cotton candy, soft drinks, and other items. Now, we're going to stay in California because this week Disneyland also announced that annual pass holders who held active passports as of March 14th, 2020 will be designated as Disneyland Resort Legacy Passholders. A statement on the Disneyland website was released saying, "Thank you for your loyalty and for having been a Disneyland Resort annual pass holder during this unprecedented time of our park's closure. To show our appreciation until new membership offerings are announced, we thought a couple of perks and a new title was in order. Pass holders who held active passports as of March 14th, 2020 are now Disneyland Resort Legacy Pass holders. Legacy Pass holders can still enjoy some of those ever so magical extras that celebrate you, like when you get the chance to scoop up some special merchandise or enjoy some food and beverage offerings, or those special surprise and delight moments. And of course, there are those fantastic passport discounts that have been extended for a limited time, from food and beverage offerings to shopping at select locations all around downtown Disney District and Buena Vista Street. It's the magic that makes being a Disneyland Resort Legacy Pass holder such an unforgettable experience. And that's just for starters. We're working on adding more magic during this limited time. So get ready to be surprised, delighted, and most of all, celebrated, because that's what being a Disneyland Resort Legacy Pass holder is all about. We, of course, have to throw some bad news in the mix, so let's get to Disney Cruise Line. DCL has made the decision to cancel all sailings aboard the Disney Fantasy through April 24th, the Disney Dream through April 30th, and the Disney Magic through May 6th, and the Disney Wonder through May 12th, 2021. And I'm sure in another couple weeks, I'll be telling you they are canceled through the end of May, so I'll be sitting here at the edge of my seat. Now back on our coast, the Walt Disney World website has been updated with a new policy for larger parties who are visiting Disney property. The new statement posted on the site states that parties larger than 10 people should split into smaller groups to allow for increased physical distancing. The new policy for groups of more than 10 pertains to dining locations, attraction queues, as well as additional areas both around the theme parks and resorts. And I think this is good to include this in here because I've been noticing a lot lately that bigger groups I'm not blaming bigger groups for coming to Walt Disney World. That's how it should be. However, I feel like there was miscommunications sometimes between cast members. So like there was one time recently where I was waiting in the queue for an attraction and the group had like 6 or 7 people in it. There was a lot of people and they basically were at the point where they were only like half of a foot away from the next line that I was supposed to be standing at, and a cast member actually tried to get me to stand there, and I literally said, like, if I stand there, I will be closer than 6 feet away, and it was just like it was all very confusing. So I guess it's always better for Disney to add in more details when it comes to their safety measures right now, and in this case of saying, you know, if your party is large enough, just start splitting up so that way we can all distance a lot easier and enjoy the magic. Because if we don't follow the rules, how will we be able to enjoy that magic? But anyways, that's it. That's over for that. And I'll end this week by reminding you that it's been a very long week, and it's almost hard to believe that the changes to the Jungle Cruise at Walt Disney World and Disneyland were announced all the way back on Monday. And if you missed this news somehow, basically Disney is updating the beloved attraction to reflect a more inclusive environment. Disney said that the Jungle Cruise will have new adventures that stay true to the experience we all know and love, more humor, wildlife, and skipper heart, and also reflect and value the diversity of the world around us. Disney Imagineer and former skipper Kevin Lively explained a bit more, saying, "As part of this story update, we'll get to follow a skipper and his passengers as their journey goes awry. That's right, for the first time ever, the skipper role will not only be that of a live, experienced, and witty guide, but also represented by a show figure within the attraction itself. In fact, the expedition will be up a tree, literally, after their sunken boat splits apart and chimps board the wreckage, with monkey business ensuing. But that's not even half of the whole story. Hull story. That's what it meant. Hull. Fans of the Jungle Cruise attraction may recall some boats that used to make their way around the river but haven't been seen for a while, specifically the Mekong Maiden and the Quango Caped. Ever wonder what happened to them? Well, you might go ape when you find out. Ultimately, the jungle gets the last laugh." I've already explained enough of my thoughts on this change back on the Walt Disney World Edition podcast that we released on Tuesday, so if you haven't already watched that, go and catch up on that. I'm not going to re-explain everything that I said there because it took a long time and I just stumbled over my words almost the entire time. But anyways, that's it for the news this week. Hopefully I won't be doing this again next week and Rhino will be back. But if it's me again, just remember, it could be worse than Craig Williams. So at this point, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you need links to any of the stories I just discussed in this video, remember you can find them in the description of this video. They're all right there. You can click them. You go to the Diz. It's fun. We'll all have a good time. Why wouldn't you just do it? I think you should. But that's it for me. We'll be back next week with more Disney news. But until then, bye-bye.